Dear viewers, welcome to this YouTube channel. In this chapter, there will be an explanation of prediction of transiting horoscope as follows. Prediction of transiting horoscope or interpretation of transiting planets is considered very complicated because the original horoscope of the native has to be understood first. Then the location of each transiting planet must be identified. Afterward, the interactions between transiting planets and usual planets have to be considered. The outcomes must then be determined before any predictions can be made. The accuracy of predicting that is of a high standard is based on the original horoscope. The standard accuracy is above 80%. On the other hand, the standard accuracy of predicting based on the transiting horoscope is above 50%. In this case, it can be confirmed that using this subject's knowledge will lead to a higher accuracy than the standard accuracy that is mentioned above. It is obvious that predicting transiting horoscope is less accurate and more complicated than predicting original horoscope. Studies and data collections show that this observation holds true. In addition, the observations show that predicting transiting planets about unfortunate matters based on harmful planets is highly accurate. On the other hand, predicting transiting planets concerning great fortunes has an accuracy level around 30 to 50% only. Therefore, further observations and gathering new data collections must be continued. Prediction of transiting horoscope means predicting the native's fortune at different time periods. As a matter of fact, the quality of the basic horoscope or the original horoscope will determine the overall fortune of the native's entire life. The only difference is that at certain periods of time transiting planets will cause certain situations to occur. Although the overall destiny will still follow the basic horoscope in every aspect. These are common principles that are generally accepted which are also viable. Although based on experience, transiting planets have a significant level of influence over many people's life. Transiting planets could alter the fate for the entire life to become better or worse at a particular short period of time. This could even result in death even though the horoscope is still solid. Some natives have a very good financial planet and a solid horoscope, but when transiting planets have harmful influence, they become bankrupt. However, these natives will usually be able to recover from the loss and become wealthy again if they do not give up. A weak financial planet will not make this recoverable. Some of them have an above-average financial planet. When transiting planets have beneficial influence, they could establish themselves and thrive further. They could even become more financially successful than the ones that have better financial planet originally. Based on principles of diversities of natives, the horoscope should also be unlimited diversified. It doesn't guarantee that the native cannot die too soon given that the horoscope is strong. On the contrary, life could still be long even though the horoscope is weak. Even when the financial planet is positive, it does not guarantee that bankruptcy cannot occur. On the contrary, the native can still become wealthy even though the financial planet is bad. Therefore, everything is possible, but it would require a reason that can be explained. Discretion is recommended in order to consider these matters. Use only principles and reasons without prejudice for interpretation. Do not use a belief or a formula for judging outcomes. Do not make haste in making a conclusion. Matters beyond that is considered beyond understanding, since astrology that is in use no matter what type, could not explain in accordance with scientific principles. Conclusively, they must be described by statistics that involves diversions. Therefore, it can be summarized that transiting planets has influence over the horoscope's change. Normally, the fate usually follows principles of the original horoscope or the birth horoscope as well as the native background. Nonetheless, sometimes harmful transiting planets could cause important series of events in life. Therefore, they are also considered very crucial. As a matter of fact, all 10 planets are orbiting along their own paths continuously. It is just when a person is born that the positions of all 10 planets at that moment are recorded into the natal chart for that person. This will affect the entire life of the person to become destined according to the birth chart. Meanwhile, all 10 planets are constantly orbiting along their paths and will always affect the native's life so that changes may occur as already mentioned. Therefore, predicting transiting planets or analyzing transiting planets requires the locations of the original planets. It also requires the locations of the planets at a particular time period that needs to be foretold in order to determine each planet's house and dignity. Afterward, the interactions between transiting planets and original planets as well as possible outcomes can be analyzed. In other words, the native has two types of charts. The first one is the locations of all 10 planets at the birth period. The natal chart that the ascendant is placed into and is used for the basic horoscope. The second one is the locations of all 10 planets at a time period that is being examined in order to predict possible incidences. See the astrology program or the astrology calendar that are suggested in the chapter, The Methods of Calculating the Natal Chart and Placing the Ascendant, at the end of this textbook. Then consider these two sets of planets and analyze the effects of their interplays with each other and/or how they relate to each other. Therefore, the principles of positive planets, negative planets, friendly pairs, elemental pairs, etc. must be put to use. In addition, in conjunction to, it is the same as the conjunction, but it is only used for transiting planets, opposition, trine, sextile. The meanings of a bhava and the meanings of a planet etc. are used like in predicting the basic horoscope in every way. Only the effects of interplays between transiting planets and original planets are added. Since all 10 planets are moving around different positions along their orbital paths, they will affect or have influence over each original planet differently, including the degree of beneficial and harmful effects. Therefore, aside from placing importance on the bhavas, in order to know more about a particular issue, the related bhava should be analyzed. The extreme beneficial and extreme harmful planets should be given priority to as well. The effects they have on the house should be determined accordingly. Since they only have short-term influence, it is not necessary to include the meanings of the dignities, such as domicile, exaltation, etc. Only the strength of the dignities should be considered. Observe that negative planets have strange effects, which is either too much or too little. Therefore, there are many times that negative planets have a great deal of influence while other cases do not have any impacts at all. Next will be the planet that is in a position that covers the time period of interest. The planet will be called in transition, such as Saturn, 7, in transition, or transiting Saturn, 7, Mercury, 4, in transition, or transiting Mercury, 4, etc. These sets of planets will be distinguished from the original planets and therefore not written down on the natal chart, although they have to be acknowledged. But in case they are written down, they usually be written down with Arabic numerals around the outer circle of the natal chart. Please stay tuned for the upcoming episodes.